One of the other things I'm going to show you includes the difference between system.out.println and system.out.print. The difference is that with system.out.println, like I said in the last video, it prints out, and then when it's finished, it jumps down to the next line. System.out.print simply will print the information and then continue on. So, for example, system.out.println, this class is awesome. Don't forget semicolon. Again, semicolon ends the statement and allows the program then to move on to the next statement. System.out.print, just going to use a print here, do a quotation and say why yes it is. And then do another system.out.print after and say indeed. And I want you to make a couple observations when I hit run. So these two are prints. This is a print line. I want you to make a few observations right now. Give you a few seconds. Make a few observations. And what I want one of the observations to be is the fact that the second and third line of the code, line 18 and 19, printed right after each other. What I also want you to notice is, take a look here, how there is not a space between the period and is and indeed. We could go back and physically add that space one spot or the other, but again, that space is very important to add, and you have to do it within the quotation. By hitting space after is, now I allowed for that space to exist. You can also notice that because it's not a print line, the build successful ran right after the period of indeed. So that's an important observation to note as well. The other thing you will notice is if you do a system.out.print and you try to leave it blank like we did with Println, it will not like it. Because Println, when you put it in there blank with just a blank parentheses, will still insert a blank line. System.out.print by itself can't do anything. So it needs either a variable inside, which we'll get into variables tomorrow, or it needs at least a space or text or something to make it exist. Putting in a blank set of quotations with nothing in it is rather pointless. I just really wanted to type pointless, put a couple dots in there, have a little fun with it. And you can see it run again. Put the space in front, worked out just the same as when I did indeed. But these are all prints. If I do the blank print line like I was talking about in between, now that will actually move it down to its own line, and then that space still stays within that system.out.print. So there's some different ways you can play with these and make them work to how you want the program to look, but at the same time you also need to be aware on which one you're selecting. Sometimes we will want, especially once we get into arrays, we'll want just the print instead of the print line. Keep this in the memory as we move forward.